Virgo rising. How you doing, Virgo? This is your reading for the Pisces new moon that's happening on the 27th or 28th of February, depending on what part of the planet you're tuning in from. Here in the UK, it's going to be about 1:45 in the morning on the 28th, so that will give you an understanding of what day this new moon is showing up for you. My name's Chloe. I work with card divination, astrology, and as you just heard and as you can see, I channel multidimensional energies through my body, both in the form of physical and vocal light language. All of this is going to be happening throughout the reading, and it's going to bring in healing, attunement, and activation codes to the messages that want to come through for you, my lovely Virgos. Now, I work with 6-month cycles, so if you're watching this after the event, you are not missing out on any of the messages that come through in this reading, because it's going to serve you over the next 6 months up until the Pisces full moon, which will be an eclipse. This is not an eclipse, FYI, even though it's in the same sign as the North Node, obviously wherever the nodes are or where the eclipses are. But this new moon is happening at 9 degrees and 40 minutes of Pisces, whereas the North Node is over at 27 degrees of Pisces. So it's really far away from the North Node, which means it's not a literal eclipse, but it is working with eclipse energy. It is working with the North Node. Now, I read for the rising signs. So for those of you who do not have Virgo in the first house, look to the house it does fall in your natal chart. Look to the themes of that house, and you want to apply those themes along with all the other meaning you've got going on in the sign of Virgo to the messages that come through, because it will be as if that Virgo energy, wherever it falls in your natal chart, has now energetically moved to the first house. So the astrology for the rising sign will always still link in. You've just got to add on your own natal chart meaning on top of it. For example, I have Virgo in the second house, so I would apply the themes of the second house to this reading, as well as my sun is there. I'm a Virgo sun, so I'd apply the meaning of the sun as well. As always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Now, I've done a collective reading where it's always the first reading to go out, where I've broken down the astrology of the exact moment of the new moon in way more detail. I've really got into the weeds and really tapped into the most integrated and expansive intention of that new moon. I pulled collective tarot cards as well. So if you want a deeper understanding of what this reading, pause this, go watch the collective reading and come back, because it acts, and start off again here, because it acts as a baseline for what's going to come through here. I'm trying to do these really quickly because I have a crazy week next week, and I'm not really going to go into too much with the astrology other than the houses and the rulers of the signs that we're working with. So I go into a lot more detail. We've got so much going on in Pisces, and lots of other stuff is going on, and that's all over in the collective reading. So as I said, if you want a deeper understanding, pause this, go watch that, then come back. Now, I'm doing things a little bit differently in the way that I'm working with the tarot. I'm using this deck that turned up yesterday. It's the John Bauer tarot. It's giving me life. There's a lot of evocative images on it, which I'm leaning into rather than the traditional understandings or my traditional interpretations of the Rider-Waite-Smith, which is what I usually use on this channel. This is the first time I'm straight up using a completely different deck, and I'm loving it. And so usually I shuffle for jumpers, and this time I'm going to talk about the astrology. I'm going to be shuffling the deck, and then at the end I'm going to pull 5 cards from the top of the deck when that's finished. And we're also going to get a couple of cards from 2 oracle decks as well. And I'm doing this because the North Node in Pisces is really calling us to push ourselves into new territory when it comes to working with source and working with the magic and the synchronicities of learning to trust everything we do is connected to source. So you might want, if you play around with cards, you might want to try doing things differently to learn to trust that it can come through in any form. Right, my loves, my lovely Virgo risings, where is this happening for you? Well, this is opposite your sign, Virgo. And this is in the house of the other, in Pisces. Now, the other is one-on-one important relationships in your life. This can be business partners, one-on-one clients. Just got the King of Pentacles and then the Knight of Pentacles. Oh, actually, I think that was the Page of Pentacles come up. So already we're tapping into your earth energy of your stability with the other. As I said, this can be business partners. This can be one-on-one clients, your therapist, near and dear friends, like your really important friends in your life, long-term committed romantic relationships, as well as your relationship with Source. We learn so much from transits in the 7th. We learn to understand how we understand ourselves in relationship to the other, how we show up for the other, how the other shows up for us, all of those things. And we've got a new moon here. So new moon in the 7th. Now this can be a great time to set, I'm just thinking of the new moon that I had in the 7th. I've got it in Aquarius. I ended up hanging out with an Aquarius rising. This often happens between me and her. And it was like a fresh, we talked to each other about how our lives were very different, because she lives in Australia on the other side of the planet, of how we changed our frequency when it came to interacting one-on-one with other people. Anyway, right, so new moon, firstly across the board, doesn't matter where the new moon is, change your bed linen on the day of the new moon. That will bring in fresh new energy. So new moon in the 7th. What kind of intentions to set around this time? Well, this can be the elevation of your relationships in your life, right? So often we can have those relationships be very distorted. We can give too much or take too much. We can not see ourselves, not be seen. Just got the 8 of Swords pop out. That is Jupiter in Gemini, which is relevant to what I'm going to talk about in a minute, but that's limiting beliefs. So setting new intentions of how you're showing up with the other, right? So often we can diminish ourselves because of the other, or get really big and then not be out of balance with the other. And so what we really want is a healthy interaction here. You can set I just got the 9 of Swords, this sense of anxiety, the fear, the social worries of, also it's about recreating the past into the future, that 9 of Swords. And so it's feeling with that 8 of Swords of letting go of those things. So you've had some difficult one-on-one relationships in your life, right? With the North Node here, we're heading into new territory. So you can set the intention to bring in a more integrated, expansive experience with the other. And this is also your relationship with Source. So setting that intention to amplify your relationship with Source, to be in alignment and co-create with Source. The sort of the other side of setting intentions with a new moon, you can ask, okay, I know I've got some wounds. And I'm going to ask the universe to help me heal those. Say you want more clients coming in, you can set those intentions, elevating your relationship with your friends. Maybe you want a business partner, maybe you want to collaborate, setting those intentions to draw in that which serves your magical reality. By the way, Virgo, if you've not seen the Pisces North Node, Virgo South Node transit series, it's in its own playlist. It's really easy to find. I cannot recommend it enough. I love that transit. I miss doing that transit. I'm so in awe of the energy of the North Node, South Node that's happening right now. It's phenomenal. And that, you might, if you haven't caught it, it's going to be very relevant to you, my loves. And so you might want to go and watch all of that. I know there's a lot of content, but it's worth it. The work that we do this year and next year, profound. So new intentions around the elevation of your relationship with the other, as well as helping release some wounds around that, strengthening your connection with Source. Now, Jupiter traditionally rules Pisces. By the way, before I carry on with that, we have a stellium going on in Pisces. We've got the sun and the moon, we've got the asteroid Ceres, And then at the later degrees, we've got Mercury, Saturn, North Node, Neptune. There's a real powerful energy around the recalibration of the other and you. And it is about getting out of the way of the old patterns. Anyway, right, so Jupiter traditionally rules Pisces, which is what I work with because I've seen that show up in my practice. And so Jupiter is influencing this energy. Wherever Jupiter is always influencing what's going on with Pisces. 10 of Swords. So a lot of swords have been coming through, and that's very relevant because Jupiter is in Gemini, which is an air sign. So a releasing of a lot of old structures of the mind. So the Jupiter in Gemini is influencing this moon, and Jupiter is up in your 10th house, my loves, in your life path, your career. Career doesn't have to be life path. It can just facilitate it. Visibility, reputation, how the big outside world sees you. So Jupiter is influencing this new journey, this evolution of your relationships with other people on a one-on-one important basis in relationship to your path, right? Jupiter brings things together in order to elevate, bring wisdom, bring a higher perspective. And with that comes a level of confidence that allows that abundant nature, right? The sort of the luck and the opportunities to come through from Jupiter. And often that's because we've integrated and made peace and we're not in conflict and we're saying yes more. So Jupiter in the 10th is really giving you a deeper wisdom around your path. Right, it's not always about opportunities. So often we tend to get those when Jupiter leaves at a higher level, right? That's not going to be relevant for everyone, but Jupiter in the 10th overall is a deeper wisdom, a deeper knowing, a deeper faith in the path that you're walking and being able to feel confident about that path, right? So Jupiter is influencing the 7th of over the next 6 months of bringing people into your life that are in alignment with that path. However long they stay with you in your journey, they may come in and bring valuable lessons for you to really get in alignment with who you want to be and how you want to be seen. That, you know, I can see a lot of wounds around the other that may have, you know, you may not have been seen. And so often then that diminishes our light and pulls us back in. And so what I feel Jupiter is, it's two-pronged effect of one, of bringing in scenarios where one, you're not going to get faltered by the other who may not see you, right? You're going to be like, oh, that's not affecting me anymore, which is going to give you that more of that confidence, as well as bringing in certain energies that, and this can just be with source, you know. I love the 7th house as applying it to your relation, your one-on-one relationship with source, where you're more in alignment. But it can bring 3D people into your life that is going to help facilitate the deeper faith and understanding of your own path. So you're able to sort of, there's a level of confidence here of, I know what I'm doing and this is how I'm showing up with the other. Oh, got the 9 of Pentacles as I said that, right? Really being able to bring a holistic life, being able to make the right decisions for yourself and no longer being distorted by the other, which in turn, because of that confidence in who you are and your path, we got the 4 of Cups with the 9 of Cups, moving away from comparison is the thief of joy to this sense of wish fulfillment. So definitely, that 4 of Cups has come out 3 times now. And that is, you know, really comparing yourself to the outside world. There's an element of depression and a sense of withdrawal with that 4 of Cups that, you know, so many one-on-one dynamics can impinge on that. This disconnection from source, this disconnection to your own magic and how to co-create with it in alignment with your path. The worries and the fears when it comes to walking your path. Are you making the right decisions? Have you paired up with the right person? All of that kind of stuff. I feel like there's a greater sense of deep knowing, inner knowing, that you're going to be guided towards that which either brings you lessons and therefore wisdom, or that which is in more integrated alignment. I mean, all of these are in alignment, but in terms of the clarity of, oh, this is the collaboration that's going to serve me. Now, Gemini traditionally rules Mercury traditionally rules Gemini. So Mercury is influencing Gemini at all times, and you, Virgo, you are Mercury ruled. And so it's influencing Jupiter, which is then influencing this moon. Now, where is Mercury? Well, I said at the beginning, it's in Pisces. So they're in each other's lands, they're in each other's realms, and this is what's called mutual reception. So there's a feedback loop, there's a psychic hotline between Jupiter and Mercury, and they're facilitating each other's journeys, right? Mercury is how we process and engage with our reality in terms of information. Jupiter's the bigger picture, and they're working together, right, of the other and the life path. And they are, in fact, ruling the whole chart. So all of the energy of the whole chart of this new moon, we got the sun, come out, and lots of other cards. So we're not going to read all of those. I think the sun was the main one, that vision, that clarity, the freedom, the liberation. So they're ruling the whole chart. So all of the energy is being pulled back into this moon. So we've got this feedback loop between Mercury and Jupiter, between Gemini and Pisces in your 10th and 7th house. Now, as I said, there's loads of other astrology going on, but I'm trying to keep this short. Right, that was 15:51 when I looked at the clock at that time. So 1, 2, 3. Right, let's go. So at the middle is the root intention of this new moon that's going to unfold over the next 6 months. Here we have what cycle is being let go of in the lead up to the new moon, and then we have the root energy, the crown energy to the focal point of the core intention, and then this card is how to work with all of this. As I said, we're also going to get a couple of cards from 2 different oracle decks. So what is at the core? What is the core intention that this Pisces new moon wants to bring in for you? Oh, this is lovely. We have the Ace of Pentacles. This is beautiful. This showed up. Who does this show up for? I believe Cancer. It's been an interesting repetition of cards in all the readings so far. And so this is the Ace of Pentacles, and that we were getting a lot of Pentacles come through at the beginning of the reading. And so this is a fresh new energy, you know, your Earth energy, you are Pentacle energy, Virgo, and of you showing up with this lightness of being, right? This figure, you know, they're not carrying anything. They're not carrying the weight of all the old experiences. And they've got this big, I think it's a yak. And you see on it, it's got all this stuff being tied up on the back of it. It is essentially a beast of burden, but it looks like it really wants to do the job. It's not, we're not doing the yak any disservice of all of the wisdom of all of your experiences, all of the things that you've gone through, both the good, the bad, the beautiful, and the ugly. They're still with you. We never let go of those, but and in fact it's turned into, got all these little pentacles here. Actually no, are they bells? So they're, again, this sort of high vibrational energy around all of your experiences, that it's not just completely disappearing, but you're able to use these resources, use this understanding with this lightness of being. So, you know, as I talked about earlier, rather than taking on the old kind of patterns, the old expectations of how things are going to be, instead there's a freedom here, I feel, with this figure. And you've got this wonderful wild animal supporting you, sort of the animal kingdom, the earthly realms, your guides, your spirit team, Source, you know, who's got this backpack on that's helping you find that lightness of being without losing all that you have learned, right? That you've got the support, you're here to walk your own path and be in a lighter energy when it comes to working with the other. And if we bring in that 10th house energy of your life path, again, all the experiences that you've had are turning into resources that serve you rather than fight against you. Duela di anima, itanama duela di anima, ishinima. So that's that heading into new territory, but with all of the wisdom still that you've had from many lifetimes. Italama duela di alama, yanum, yanum, Dianum di shalama dialimo dofani ma etani ma dishani. I love that ace has come through. As I said, this sort of fresher energy at the core of it, of letting go of those restrictions, and finding the wisdom within all of those experiences. Okay, let's see what's been let go of in the lead up. Oh, interesting. The Ace of Cups. I've not seen this card before. This is quite fascinating. Of this image, of this swirl. This feels to me like what you've been working on, right, over the last 6 months and also over the last year, because, you know, it's been a year since a new moon has shown up here. So it's the integrating of everything. And we have these quite powerful figures here. We've got this sort of king-like energy, and it was quite hard to sort of work out. This kind of feels like, I want to say, like a giant, so the big like earth energy, as well as the masculine and feminine working together to release this Ace of Cups, this sense of renewal of your emotional body. So this feels like you've gone through a cycle of really trying to bring in fresh energy around your emotional responses to the other, right? Of seeing things more from love, right? And that this power, this churning that you've created is now overflowing and being released into the earth. So it's not, you're no longer working to establish it, and that you've got this team behind you who are facilitating in the 3D world the unfoldment of this emotional release. Right, a sort of the, you know, this is kind of grey and star in colour, so we could kind of see this. Let's get this properly in focus, of sort of the more of the heavens and then the earth, and then, as I said, the masculine and feminine all integrating. So this is all the work you've been doing, they're bringing in this fresh energy, and now they're releasing it. So you're no longer having to put so much effort into this new, you've been already trying to cultivate this new energy around the other, and now it's just infiltrating into your 3D experience. At the root, we have the Two of Wands, right? So this figure is surveying the landscape. So this is at the root of you, and you're in this very strong position of being in observer mode, right? And really not rushing to, you know, this figure isn't rushing out to greet this energy that's coming towards her, right? This energy is being drawn towards them, and she's in a very strong position, and she's just observing the unfolding rather than, you know, in the traditional Rider-Waite, this is about getting the lay of the land and like planning before launching into a new journey. I'm getting a slightly different message, as in, you know, that your instinct now is not to rush out into things, is not to rush into these dynamics, is not to rush, it's not to allow those old instincts to take over of what you expect is going to happen. That things will come towards you and you can sit in your seat of power. Just feel called to mention Venus is going to go retrograde a couple of days after this new moon, of that in Aries, and that fire energy. I feel like this is also a lot of resources coming in from source, right, to really strengthening who you are in this incarnation, this very solidified thing. That there's like a calmness with this card around your instincts of letting this new unfolding take place without trying to project onto it what you think is going on, and simply observe. But all I'm really feeling with all those mountains in the background is a very grounded, stable redevelopment of your instincts when it comes to working with the other and things coming towards you. Toela di animo, o toela di anima, itanima, o toela. Oh, I've not seen this one yet before. This is the Magician. Shut up. This is Mercury. Oh, I love all of these crows sitting on this figure. And again, I'm getting similar energy to this of, there's something, you know, the stillness of the crows. They're not flying around, right? And so this is This is at the crown of the intention of this great power that's coming into you. There's a stillness, there's a groundedness, there's a stability, right? This and this feel very similar, that you're not having to second guess it. You're not having to be in a frenzy around how things are unfolding. There is a very clear awareness of your own power here that isn't being diminished by the other, and that it's allowing this heightened sense of connection to your own magic. You know, you're going to be receiving messages from source with these three crows sitting there, right? That is really just recreating this awareness within you of your own power, right? Of your own magic when it comes to again, it doesn't feel like the distortions from the past are influencing you in the same way. Let's see if I can get this so it's not got the light refracting on it. I mean, that's quite wild given the resonance that we have with Mercury going on here. It's like the messages from source are being drawn towards you. The outside world experiences are being drawn towards you as you merrily go on your way, right? It's not about you not taking action, but you are experiencing life in your with this lightness of being that is not getting dysregulated by the other, and things are just coming towards you as you go about your own day to day. How to work with this energy. We got the 3 of Wands following the 2 of Wands, so this is the acknowledgement of the new adventure, right? The new experience. This figure is looking out to see what is coming, right? To get the vista of it, everything that surrounds it, the landscape, right? And being able to see very far and wide as well, and they're on this high position. They have this sense of knowing that they are. And you see the ocean in the background, right? This feels like a very strong, grounded connection to the fluidity of your environment, and how, again, standing in your power, and observing what is floating around in the vast cosmos, that there is this confidence that, because this is the sun in Aries, there's this confidence that your frequency is going to facilitate the path, right? This is what I'm getting with that Jupiter energy, that and this Ace of Cups that's just falling all over your environment, that just show up and observe and take the action from the confidence that you have of the vast expanse that you're now moving into. I hope that makes sense. That it just feels, so this is how to work with it. This is 1, you're standing in a good position. 2, again, it's another kind of observer energy along with this and this. And yin energy is very observant in its nature, that they're wanting you to focus on that there is a vastness in front of you. It is not confined, it is not limited, and that your instincts are going to have a natural understanding of where to go. But they're really wanting with this card for you to focus on the openness of it. And they're standing on this big rock, right? So they've climbed up there. So there's something around you facilitating your frequency by raising it up. And getting your perspective and your instincts in alignment with this more expansive, open, higher perspective. And cultivating that, right? You might want to do a meditation of sitting on this rock and looking into the vastness of the skyline, right? And use that ocean of realizing everything that is possible is within that, and bring in the instinct to be in alignment with the magician, because the magician is a yang energy. It is about taking action, but there's such a stillness and a groundedness here here, as well as this movement of of just a level of confidence that I'm feeling with this, a level of awareness of the openness that is in front of you, and that isn't based on you know, perhaps behind them there's a forest where there's a density and there's an overwhelm, and in front of you there is just this openness. So again, they're really wanting you to focus on the possibilities, not necessarily the details of it. Oh, we got a bonus card from Rainbow Brainskull. And it feels like if this figure focuses long enough on what they're looking at out into the ocean, in the horizon they're going to see these tiny little dots that are ships, that you're going to refine your capacity to focus on the thing that's twinkling at you, the thing that's winking at you. You know, this doesn't feel like distracted energy, and that there is your capacity to see the thing that's really far in the horizon. So if we link it back to life path and career, and so have an awareness of that, of where you're headed, but enjoying the ride, rather than, you know, wanting to jump and portal into that future space. Yeah, I'm just getting a lot of confidence in the path, confidence in how you're showing up, but there's that lightness as well with that Ace of Pentacles, and again, they're wanting you to focus on the openness and and through that state of focusing on the vast expanse, that your spidey senses will refine to the pinpoints that are part of your unfolding of your path, through that sense of awareness. Whoa, Yeesh. Virgo. Okay, so you got two cards from Rainbow Brainskull, and the first one is I'll be at the other end of the universe acting strange. Now this feels like the groundedness that I'm getting from the Magician and the Two of Wands, right? The stability for you to be your magical self, right? And this figure feels like they're very much out in the middle of nowhere, and yet things are coming towards them. It's like the capacity for you to embody your own frequency and not worry about missed opportunities, and worry about how things are going to unfold. It's simply that by honoring your own uniqueness and your power, you are then going to be drawing things towards you. If you are truly in your own lane, there is no competition. Be an original. Now, this is tying into the fact that Four of Cups came out 4 times in the pre-shuffle. Comparison is the thief of joy, right? So this is really highlighting of not externalizing your life path, not externalizing those relationships, the need for the relationship, the need for the life path, the need for the career. This is about you honoring what brings you stability, what brings you nourishment, what brings you your own magic. And then we have, and you won't believe it, it's so appropriate for the 10th house. Itala, we've got the solar plexus chakra. Itala di shilima 33, as I saw that. The frequency of the solar plexus chakra, the yellow flower of life, supports our sense of self, our personal power, shut up, and our willpower, as well as our knowing of who we are and what our contribution is to the whole. So that's not second guessing yourself, and understanding, you know, that it's around the navel, the solar plexus. This is all about the will, going out in the world. It is very much linked into the action, particularly around career. And I love that it's bringing in the power, right? The The flower of life is a geometric shape recognized by many cultures all over the planet. It consists of 13 equal cycles that intersect at the middle of each cycle. Circle even. Oh, interesting, that said cycle. Creating a perfectly proportioned flower. As a symbol, the flower of life represents the universe as a whole, as well as the harmony in which all the separate components of the universe work together. This beautiful pattern is often used to indicate our understanding of our connection as humans and as spiritual beings to the whole. The colour yellow is associated with the third or solar plexus chakra. It is located in the area of the diaphragm below the breastbone and linked to our sense of self, our authority, and our personal power. It is the area of our personality and our ego. Yellow helps us to think clearly, increases our awareness, and stimulate our curiosity. It strengthens our vitality, our life force, and our energy. Its sense is sight. Try this. Go inside yourself for a moment and think about what is important in your life. Do you spend your days doing what you love? Do you feel satisfied? Do you feel you are an important part of this big puzzle we call life? Most of us have that one thing we love doing and are really good at. What is your one thing? Yeah, that's tying in with that and a lot of the other themes that we've been bringing into the reading. The readings so far with this, I'm not surprised, it's Pisces, have been wild. Your bonus card, World Maker, is only job in the final future. There will always be the need for the vast and unique realm of your imagination. We love originals. Share your vast inner world. It's one thing that can never be automated. Again, it's really bringing all of this back to you, and I felt that so strongly with the cards of your inner power and this confidence that it's building, that is no longer needing to externalize it for recognition and support, and this just you doing what works for you. Right, my lovely Virgos, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it resonated. If it did, hit that like button. Leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. How is this axis showing up for you, Virgo? Oh, I'm here for it. My Virgo sun is all over letting go of control and needing to have all the answers. Virgo, be good to yourselves, be good to those around you, safe travels, and be well until we meet again.